I was so dumb, but I hopped on a plane, almost drove right back to the 541. Shitty U-turn on the freeway, you turn me from a fiend to a way to you fun. I can wait in the sun for a little, but it's been real gray, and tonight it's a nice C1. I can wait in the cold for a while if the reasons are plenty.
You growing a beard, Braga?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, should we save this for when we're on?
We're on. You can talk about it right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it looks good. Yeah, it looks
bro.
good.
I always thought, I mean, I'm surprised you haven't done it more. Just go the Bill Burr look.
You know what? So I'll tell you what. Girlfriend says she wanted me to try it out because she wanted to see it. I have a picture on my wall where I had like kind of a beard, and she's like, "You should grow that out." I think it looks good, and I grew it out, and she says it looks good. So I guess I'll keep it. But
It does look good.
No,
Yeah,
but like
I like it.
So my issue is when it gets to a certain length, it gets itchy and dandruffy, and I hate it.
Yes.
And like uncomfortable, and so I need to figure out a way to keep it I need to keep it this length, and no longer.
I mean,
I have like a beard trimmer thing, but it doesn't go that short, and so we're talking about like having a trimmer with a little comb, like if you go to a barber shop or something like that, and that sounds like too much work, frankly.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy all like the shea butter and the cocoa butter and all the stuff to put on your beard, the moisturizer.
Yeah.
Because that beard dandruff is a thing. It's gross.
It's real. My skin is just generally really dry, and so that combination with the beard is just skin all over the place. And so
you gotta look into
wear
the
a black
real
shirt. Like
you gotta look into that real hipstery like beard, like specific for beard creams and stuff like that. That's what you need.
By the way, in the chat, Nuttian, I bet that Fat Kid Deals guy has a deal on that stuff.
Probably does.
I bet he does. If only we had an in with that guy.
Who, Kevin Wade?
Yeah, that's who it is, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, let's. By the way, thank you for saying that. I appreciate you saying it looks good. I'm gonna pass that along. That's useful.
I also like the collar look you're rocking.
Man,
very 90s, early 2000s.
It's giving me like Kanye West, 2005 vibes.
College dropout. It's giving college dropout vibes.
Yeah.
I need a backpack on. Then I'll be good. Yeah. No,
and some big ass headphones.
I like where this podcast is going. By the way, we'll get started with the podcast here any minute.
We're just gassing you up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dude, we gotta bring down a X here soon.
I'll say I have made it. Yeah, I know, right? I have made a conscious effort lately to upgrade the wardrobe. And so, all right, third time's the charm. Let's see if it works. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm Alex at TSB Pod. He's King at Jeromney. He's Ski at TSB Ski. Tweet us stuff if you want to. Join the Discord, Sports Brewery in the Discord. We can send you an invite if you need it. Let's see, what else? Twitch.tv/abrog87 if you want to watch us do the live sports podcast every Thursday. We're doing it Tuesday last week, this week, and next week. But normally it's Thursdays. Okay, so this is the third time we've tried this. The first time was great. We were talking about how fantastic I look, my beard.
Fucking sexy.
Yeah, my clothes. We were talking about how great I look, and it made the internet break.
Mark Helfrich beard, Kanye West.
Oh, Mark Helfrich beard.
That's what you got. Yeah.
Is that what I was
missing?
Great.
That's what you got, the Helfrich and Kanye look. That's what it is.
Yeah. Boy, I really was enjoying where it was going, and then my internet decided to stop working because...
Had a 9-inch dick, six-pack, the whole thing going.
I'm glad this is like an audio medium that we're doing this for. Don't watch the Twitch, people. Don't watch the Twitch. All right, so
that dick Twitch. Whoa. Sorry.
Nuttian says sponsored by Blue Chew. Hey man, you're the guy who can get us a deal on Blue Chew, right?
King could get us all the deals, right? Are you still getting just blasted with?
No, it's actually been a while.
Been a while. Yeah, I mean, don't say Blue Chew and King getting blasted in the same sentence.
I missed the Blue Chew ads. I miss how bad the acting was. I'm disappointed.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna stop talking about how great I look just so we can get the fucking podcast going tonight.
I'm dripping, man.
Honestly.
Soaking wet.
Honestly. Speaking of soaking wet, I don't know how to transition that.
Just shake it like a salt shaker.
Bo Nix? I don't know. So where do you want to start today? I mean, the Oregon men's basketball has played a few games now, so there's
Nope. Oregon basketball does not exist, men or women's, this year.
Man, the women's just got boat raced by Santa Clara. That was hey.
The men's team will exist come January, I would say, maybe mid-January, when hopefully they actually have a fully rostered team. But until then, yeah, they don't. I don't want to watch 7 guards rotating in and out.
So,
no, thank you.
Are we to assume their big men are not going to be around for a while? Is that what we're being led to believe?
Dante's going to see like knee specialists. I think Brittle probably broke his wrist.
He broke his wrist. Like we can just yeah. We're not breaking news there, but we're breaking news. He broke his wrist.
Your tall guys now, some scrub that was not great at Stetson last year, and a freshman who's 6'7".
They said he grew. Nope. Oh. I saw it today. He's grown 2.5 inches since he stepped on campus.
Really?
So he's almost 6'10". Yeah.
I actually like him.
Is that Kwame Evans?
Kwame Evans, yeah. He's going to be a good player. Yes, but he's a
5-star, so that probably means something. I don't know what, but
yeah, but he should be your 3 or 4, not your starting center. So yeah, check the team out in January.
It seems like missing one of those guys, you can probably survive. Missing both of them, nah, man, it's gonna be rough. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah. Okay, well, Blazers.
It's basketball. I saw something on Twitter.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Who?
Blazers.
I saw someone retweeted something yesterday on my timeline, and it was from like 2 days after the tournament was canceled in 2020, or maybe it was still in limbo. It was from like the March 20th of 2020. It's early pandemic stuff. That was all heartwarming, and they were showing Oregon Duck highlights from that year. From the what's the song called? The March Madness song. Like, the ball is tipped, and here it goes, falling out of stars, and now we. Oh, the one shining moment. That's what it's called.
There it is.
And I was like, we were so innocent. Yeah. We were so young in mid-March of 2020. We had no idea what was coming.
Well, it was just gonna.
And that team was a fucking squad. I was looking at those highlights. I was like, God, dude, that team was going to the Elite Eight. Like easy money to the Elite Eight.
The women's were.
Oh, they would have won that. Yeah, they would.
Sure. So
they would have slept walk to the national title game.
Yeah.
Dang viruses.
Should we hang some banners for that? I mean,
some schools did.
Some schools do that, right? I mean,
the Florida State men's team literally has a banner that says like #1 in the last poll in 2020 before the pandemic. And South Carolina women's team, and they're way above it. They have one of those too. Yeah. Just come on. And looking back on how the fuck was South Carolina women's team ranked #1 and Oregon was #2? Yeah. Oregon beat the Olympic team, and yes, like Sue Bird, it wasn't a full team, but
hey, Taurasi played.
Like, what are we doing here?
They still beat professional athletes.
Yes. I mean, insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was only going to last a week or two, right? They were just going to put it off and then bring the tournament back, and it was going to be fine.
Yeah.
Was it 14 days to stop the spread?
That was it, man. Just got isolated for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Did you notice how was that not the start of the tournament to where they were talking about like how shitty the women are treated during the March Madness tournament? Or was that the year before?
No, Sedona
it was the year
Prince.
after.
It was after.
Yeah.
It was the year. It was the year after.
Yeah, the bubble. It was the bubble year.
It was the bubble year. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You haven't heard much after that, have you?
No.
About
they don't have
women's athletics.
They don't have whistleblowers like Sedona Prince out there anymore. So, yeah.
Is she not somehow on a college team somewhere still?
I think injured.
I mean,
she
she's
retired.
cleared. I mean,
I think she
she's
medically
Cam
retired.
McCormick. Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I figured she was just Cam McCormick and she's getting her 8th year somewhere. And
Yeah, no, because last year, like right before, I'm probably getting this wrong, but I think before the Pac-12 season started, they announced that she was like out for the year and like medically retiring. So,
are we far enough away from Sedona Prince to talk about how bad she was at basketball?
well,
Is that okay?
she wasn't bad. She just never got better.
Yeah,
she led.
No.
They played bully ball in the bubble.
My guy.
They played bully ball in the bubble and got to the Sweet 16. She was the spearhead there.
She was a big who played like a guard. But like didn't have quickness or skill. Like what I'm saying is she was soft, extremely soft.
You're pretty much calling her Nurkic is what you're doing, right?
She was extremely soft. She got bullied whenever she played. And she didn't I remember Graves like would do these really subtle post-game press conference like comments about her where he would essentially say she wouldn't play defense and she wouldn't rebound. So what the hell is the point of you playing if you don't play defense and rebound if you're a big?
I love that Kelly Graves that would just take swipes at the team. The team's so bad now, he just doesn't even bother.
He can't do it now.
Is what it's
They stink.
Yeah, they're not good.
They stink.
Well, Booble asked in the chat if we think this is Kelly Graves' last year. And I don't know.
No.
I hope not.
If he wants it to be, he might just bounce.
No.
I hope not. I really like the guy. Like he's good for the community, good for the university. He's a really good dude. You know, and so this is the point where we decide if we truly care if women's basketball is elite or not.
Well, is Big Ten good? It's not good, is it?
No.
So maybe the jump to the Big Ten might spark them, and
but like
they're bad. They're bad right now.
The tough thing about women's basketball is in the Pac-12, you can assume program X, Y, and Z are going to be great. But like when Washington State and Colorado and Utah are all of a sudden like top 15-ish, and Oregon is kind of bad for a third straight year. And don't get it twisted, the men are also probably kind of bad for a third straight year. They've had more injury bad luck, so you can blame it on that somewhat. But man, the highs of both programs at Matthew Knight before the pandemic and now, I mean, it's rough.
We're potentially hanging double banners that year.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
could have been a thing.
That men's team could, that's all it takes is, especially with a guy like Pritchard, then a guard in March Madness. We saw it with Kemba Walker. They won a championship with just him. That's all it takes.
Now Oregon basketball, men's and women's, is to the point where they drop the theater curtains on the upper level, so it just doesn't look as empty.
Which actually makes it seem better, at least.
It does.
Optically.
No, absolutely.
It's better.
It is optically 100% better, but it's just kind of sad.
Yes.
Booble says at least the men's team has a white dude throwing down hammers on the fast break. That is true. Also, the pandemic was targeted towards Oregon basketball. That's I'm convinced.
Yeah, Wuhan released it because they could not. Fauci.
Yeah.
Fauci could not stand to see the University of Oregon run and double up, like UConn did a couple of times with men and women.
The liberal
is disgusting. Frankly, it's disgusting.
The liberal elite is not on Fauci's watch. Not on Fauci's watch.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Gross. All right, so let's go to duck football, huh? Nice convincing first half. Didn't really try in the second half. 49-13. Bo Nix 24 of 29, 404 and 6 touchdowns. They tried to
lost ground in the Heisman race.
Yeah, lost ground.
And not even on Saturday, and not even on Sunday, but somehow on Monday we woke up and he lost ground in the Heisman race. There's something dirty going on in Vegas.
The SEC is powerful in messaging, and you could tell by Sunday into Monday, you could see the talking heads out there propping Daniels up for playing a whole game against a fucking D2 team and putting up monster numbers. And it doesn't matter. All they do is look at the numbers. They don't care who they're playing and why he was playing the whole time. They just point to the number to say, look at that.
And
better than Bo Nix.
And the funny thing about the Heisman is, yes, we can all agree it doesn't always go to the best player in the nation.
Definitely not.
Because it could be a left tackle, it could be a defensive end, and they're not going to put up the stats to get it. We all understand that. So if we understand that it's either a quarterback or a wide receiver, or maybe a running back award.
No.
But, the thing is LSU propped up into our eyes in August. I think they played in week 0 against FSU. Was that Labor Day weekend?
Was that a week 0 game?
I feel like that was a Labor Day weekend game. But whatever, that doesn't matter. But they came up as like a top 5 team, national title hopes. Smoked by FSU. Just in the second half, just smoked.
Yeah,
and then LSU doesn't play anyone good. And then they play Ole Miss. And they lose. And Jaden Daniels plays very well. Throws for, 4 touchdowns, runs for another. But they lose to Ole Miss. Ole Miss's trick is a great SEC trick, especially with Lane Kiffin. Where, they're 4-0, they're 5-0, and now they're playing Alabama. Now they're playing Georgia. Now they're playing LSU. And they did beat LSU, but generally, they always lose. Lane Kiffin always loses. He gets on ESPN, he talks shit, sends a funny tweet, they lose by 20 every single fucking time. And then they go to Alabama like a month ago, and they lose. So we've seen them play 3 important games against good teams. They've lost all 3. From that point on, Brian Kelly was like, well, we got nothing to play for. Nothing.
Yep.
And that's kind of where I think losses sort of count, because at a certain point, if you're playing the last 5-6 games with nothing else to play for, but pat-statting, you pat-stat. He pat-statted against Army like a month ago. Army! He pat-statted against Georgia State. He played late against Florida, who's a 5-win team. Like, it's kind of insane when people are like, well, he's so much better. But is he? Like, that's their whole thing. They're just you can turn it into a video game where you just play the entire game to get one person the stats. And,
and we all have done that when we play video games. So
absolutely,
my creative character is going big.
And in fairness, like against, I think it was ASU for sure. Cal, I think there was one other game for Oregon where they came out early in the third quarter and basically gave Bo Nix the opportunity to stat pad for a drive. Yep. Like that drive against ASU on Saturday, stat padding.
Yes.
And he should have thrown a 7th touchdown pass.
He did. Was not.
And for whatever, God knows whose reason, they threw a flag on Terrence Ferguson. Not offensive pass interference. Should have been 7, but that was going to be his drive. That was it. 1. That is so much different than playing 2, 3, 4, 5 drives when you're up by 1 million. Yeah. And at a certain point, I do think that has to matter. Do I think Bo Nix is actually the best quarterback in America? No. I think Caleb Williams is easily the best raw quarterback in America. Like, debatable. Won a Heisman last year. He's going to be the number 1 pick. That's not how this award goes. But you also, at a certain point, there has to be something you're playing for.
Usually, I thought, like you said, it doesn't always go to the best player, but usually it goes to the player on the best team is usually what kind of evens it out. I don't think Tim Tebow was the best player. He was on a very good team, and he got it. Johnny Manziel. he's kind of the slight outlier. He's my only really slight outlier where his team wasn't great, but he was so phenomenal in college that
And he beat
won it.
Alabama.
And he beat Alabama. But yeah, he doesn't tick the boxes of being your team. Your team has to be good. Because otherwise, like you said, you're just padding stats against garbage teams. Lamar Jackson had crazy numbers against terrible teams at Louisville. He probably should have won it every year he played when he was healthy.
Well, and the thing about Lamar Jackson is he played at Louisville. He didn't play at fucking LSU. Lamar Jackson was dragging people to that 9-3 record. Jaden Daniels plays at LSU. At LSU. We have seen them in our lifetime win 3 national titles and play for another. That is not a program where the quarterback should be. They're not carrying people. It's just kind of an absurd thing. And I also think that LSU starting so high and being an SEC school makes Stuart Mandel. I don't know if you guys listen to the Audible or follow him on Twitter. He had LSU as his national champion. Okay. Well, they were knocked out in September. They were done. They weren't going to win it. It wasn't going to happen. But to make his pick look a little bit better, he's been on that Jaden Daniels thing now for a couple of weeks. Clearly the Heisman. Clearly the Heisman. Well, if their defense was a little better with the Heisman winner, maybe they would have made the playoffs like I predicted. That's kind of what's going on there with that.
Well, that's the problem with rankings in the first place. You can see it everywhere right now. Look at Ohio State right now. Ohio State has played nobody. They beat Notre Dame at the start of the year when Notre Dame was a top. I think Penn State is a average team at best.
I don't think they're good either, but they are ranked 12th.
But you beat Notre Dame when they were ranked 8 or 7 or whatever it was, and you beat Penn State when they were top 10 as well. That's all preseason ranking stuff right there. That team should not. Notre Dame is they have 3 losses now and have not looked good at all this year. But that's what they're going to hang things on. And that's where the problem might come down to the road here come the college football playoffs. Same thing with Michigan's played nobody. Their one win is the terrible Penn State team too. If you look at, let's say you drop Arizona, Utah, Oregon State, maybe UCLA. You drop those teams in the Big Ten. Are they finishing 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the Big Ten this year? And maybe even beating Ohio State and Michigan once?
Maybe not 3rd, but 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. See, but it's all that preseason hype, like you're saying, especially in the SEC. And you're 100% right. I still think Nix wins it if the Ducks win, and he's going to have to do good to beat Washington and Oregon State. So I'm not too worried about that, but yeah, fuck the narrative of Jaden Daniels. He's good. He's exciting. He runs for 250 yards and throws for 300. His team sucks. Get out of here.
I tend to agree with you. If Nix is going to win it, he has to play 2 really good games, and they have to beat Oregon State and Washington. If they are going to win those games, he has to play big anyways.
Exactly. So it's
again, we're talking about playing 2 very good teams to end the season. And if Oregon does indeed win the Pac-12 championship, I don't see how he doesn't get it. It would have to take Daniels having 8 touchdowns every game the rest of the way, and it's not.
Yes, one more game. Yeah, he has one more game against A&M, and that's it.
Yeah. So Nuttian dropped some stats in the chat, which I want to pass along. So versus Power 5 teams, I know. If versus Power 5 teams only, Nix in 9 games has 77.5% completion percentage, 3,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 189 QBR. Daniels in 8 games, 71%, 2,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 192 QBR. So, very comparable.
Well, you got to look at his rushing numbers too. So he's got 12 rushing touchdowns or something stupid like that. And
Daniels also huge rushing yards, which if he is going to have the edge over Nix, that's where it's going to come. Just pure numbers. And you know, like there's been a lot of narrative this week about record not mattering. Like I know we like to say it does, but guys have won the Heisman with bad records before. Lamar Jackson being one of them, who you mentioned. But it generally takes a really special season, and Daniels is having one of those. But is it enough to overtake Nix, who is having one of those on a good team?
Nix might break an all-time record. I know it's for completion percentage. It's not sexy at all. He's looking to set an all-time record in football. Daniels isn't doing that.
With a first-time offensive coordinator, by the way, or like a first year with
the
team, I should
that
say.
Definitely does not. They definitely do not factor that in at all.
Which, by the way, like they really should, because that's impressive. It just is. Learning a new offense and being as good as he's been is impressive.
And before we move on from the Heisman talk, the important thing to know about Heisman talk is you have to build your stats up in September. If you look at Bo Nix's stats in September, it was like 3 touchdowns against Portland State total, 3 touchdowns against Hawaii, 3 touchdowns against like Michael Penix. People don't think he's going to win it. And if they go 12 or 13-0 and beat Wazoo and let's just say Oregon, he might win it. But Michael Penix was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was the guy. And it's because he threw 5 touchdowns against Michigan State, 5 touchdowns against Boise State, 5 touchdowns against the other non-league game. Like you start stacking those stats early, people can forget about it late. Where if Bo Nix had 5 more touchdowns at this point, just shitty, inconsequential against terrible teams in September. Now you're like, well, he's got 48 total touch or whatever the number is. Like, sorry, Jaden Daniels, but
yeah, when the numbers jump out at you like that, yeah, you don't care where they came from.
Right. At a certain point, you stop caring. Yeah.
So
people could dig deep and look at things and be like, yes, this Nix looks better if you, like I said, look at who he played against, look at what he did. And, like I said, he came out of games for the first 6 weeks or so.
And then this week too. So are we saying the coaches sort of did him a disservice by pulling him as early as they did against Arizona State? Because by the way, he could, if he plays the whole third quarter, he could have thrown
10 touchdowns.
He could have thrown 2, maybe 3 more touchdowns, depending on how many series they had.
So I think, maybe I'm wrong. I think they're saving him for maybe not the Civil War, because I think Oregon's better.
They run if the Ducks have a big lead, I think they pile on.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I think they're saving some Bo Nix stuff, like with the running. I think they're saving like that delayed draw that he ran for 80 yards last year against Stanford for a touchdown. I think they're saving some of the rushing stuff the next 2 weeks that'll pad some stats or be eye-pop. Like, oh my God. And he had a 54-yard touchdown run, against Washington or whatever.
Yeah, Nutty and bringing up the Rose Bowl with Herbert. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, they didn't make Bo Nix into, Lamar Jackson last year, but he was a much bigger factor in the running game. And he got hurt. He got hurt against Washington. So I kind of understand it. And, they're preserving some draft stuff and health. I think at this point, they're going to let him run. They're just.
Theoretically, he should have about 6 more rushing touchdowns if they want, like, around the goal line instead of just handing off to running backs every time. He had the chance every time he wanted to keep one and walk it in.
Well, and that's kind of an interesting thing because pivoting, Bucky Irving was left off the Doak Walker. Okay. Yeah. Is Bucky Irving a top 10 running back of the nation? Yes. No. Yes. Come on. You got to be absolutely. You got to be a first-class hater to say no. But the Oregon offense they spread it around enough.
Well, you can't have a Heisman and a Doak guy because someone has to eat.
Absolutely. I totally get that. But even so, the Jordan James runs inside the 10. if they were looking to get him on that, they would have given him the ball 4 or 5. Because like Blake Corum has, I think, 850 yards rushing.
Like 10 more touchdowns.
He has 20 rushing touchdowns. 20. He's rushed for 800 yards and change. It's under 850. It's not even close to 9. And 20 touchdowns. That's what you kind of have to do in some of these scenarios. And like,
if I was gonna say, if Kyle Shanahan is the Ducks coach, Bucky has 40 rushing touchdowns, and he's bringing them in blowout games to get him the touchdowns too.
I tend to agree with you. I think they start running the ball in the next couple of weeks with Bo. Booble says, no, they want a natty. They don't give a fuck about a Heisman. And then Hucklebenny, an injury while padding stats would be so brutal. Yes.
Oh, well, like we're saying.
It would be fitting as hell as Oregon.
Yes,
like,
it would be very Oregon. Yep.
Yeah, how fitting would it be with 4.5 minutes left, up 12, Bo Nix from the 19 runs for a touchdown, gets hit at the goal line, pops a hammy. Oh shit, you can't play against Michigan in the CFP at the Rose Bowl. Like, yeah, that would be very Oregon. He's got the trophy, but he ain't playing.
I do disagree with Booble there, because the Natty and the Heisman go hand in hand in my eyes. So they're not playing for him to win the Heisman, but he has to play Heisman level to get into the playoffs in my eyes.
Fair enough.
Because he's going to have, I personally think the Ducks roll through the Beavs. He's going to have a monster game against UW in the championship game.
By the way, did you guys know that my Cats can end up playing Washington if Oregon loses?
The Cats are a fucking wagon right now, by the way. They're so good right now that they bring in Jaden Delora for scrub minutes at the end of games.
My God, they're doing trick plays with Delora, catching passes and then throwing it again. They are absolutely rolling through people right now. Arizona.
What if they just didn't start Delora at the start of the season, had this other kid in? Because we know they have the weapons. Cowling and McMillan are elite level wide receivers.
And they got Flo, the elite linebacker now.
Oh, God.
You guys remember him? No, but they're absolutely they're going to dominate Arizona State this week. So they're going to win. And so Oregon, if they lose, Arizona plays Washington. So Oregon, don't lose. How about that?
We'll
I don't understand how that tiebreaker works, by the way.
Tiebreakers.
I was hoping you would explain it.
No, I read it and I still don't understand it.
Yeah.
Because I want to be like, they lost to Mississippi State, who fired their coach. Get him out of here. Like that's my tiebreaker. Like
that's the
you lost to a team with 4 wins and fired their coach 2 weeks ago. Like, get out of here.
You're disqualified. That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Booble asks, if UW loses, is it Oregon versus Arizona?
No, UW's in.
UW's clinched, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I was going to say. Natian says, if I remember, it's because they played UCLA and Oregon played Cal, and UCLA has a better record than Cal.
All right, I'll take it. Yeah.
So, well, what if Cal plays UCLA? If they win, do they have an even record? Because it's conference then, right? Or is it total?
No, I don't think so. No.
Cal is bad. So
yeah, I think Cal has 6 wins. 5, 6. UCLA is definitely sitting at 7.
All I know is math is hard, and I'm not interested in doing it. So let's move on.
Speaking of 7 wins, USC. Ooh, Caleb Williams, gross. Ooh.
Heisman, unfinished.
USC 7-7 in their last 14 games. Yuck. Can you Lincoln Riley?
Bad.
You got 7 losses in your year plus at USC. 7.
Must be tough being a poverty program like USC.
Actually, it's 8. They got 8. I forgot about that first loss to Utah.
Can't relate.
Yeah. They have 8 losses. USC, Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams lost 8 games. 8. 8.
I mean, I've said before, I think Lincoln Riley is the biggest fraud there is. let's see what he looks like when he doesn't have Heisman quarterback.
Like,
that
think
he's
about
coaching.
this. USC with Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley, 8 losses, right? Oregon has 1 loss this year, 3 losses last year. That's 4, right? Go back to 2021. Did they have 4? Yeah, they did have 4. Okay, never mind. Damn it, that screws up my whole
No,
damn it.
the math doesn't work.
Damn,
Again, math,
I thought they had
dude.
7. I was going back to 2020.
Yeah.
Damn it. That Stanford loss in 2021 is fucking me up. Damn it.
Can't
I
bring
was
math.
about to do a thing.
You can't bring math into it, man. I'm sorry.
No.
Bring
No.
numbers. Nope. Can't do
Nope.
it. Can't do it.
Won't do it.
Anything else to talk about with the Arizona State game, by the way?
Nah, I mean,
Not really. Yeah.
what Oregon's defense did, cool, fine, whatever. They gave up some points late. ASU was playing a trash offense. We
Dude.
knew it, whatever. But the Oregon offense against the ASU defense, that was impressive because I think going into that game, ASU would have allowed 30 points plus twice, and Oregon evaporated that. Like, just evaporated because they just bring the house every single play. They just blitz and they stunt and they blitz.
You said that last week before the game, and what did we see? We saw Franklin one-on-ones and Bo Nix hitting him almost every time he had it. So
I mean, they did what they had to do on offense. What they did defensively, expected. Whatever.
You have seen it with the opposing coaches in their post-game press conferences. They look exhausted. Like they really look like they've been through something. And because Oregon, I don't know what Lanning is doing. I don't know what the defense is like, what Tosh is doing, but it's like it is clearly something that's catching them off guard, and they are emotionally beat down after these games. These coaches, because you can see they're trying. They're doing everything they possibly can, but they are being dominated coaching, and they're being dominated because Oregon has Nix, frankly. And Franklin and Bucky, and there are just so many things that Oregon is throwing at them, and there's just nothing they can do about it. And they're decent teams, but they're just getting boat raced, and they don't know why. And you can really see it. Like you could see it with Dillingham. You saw it with Dion. You saw it with Lincoln Riley. Like they're all just like I don't know what the fuck just happened. Like we got our asses handed to us. That's all I know. Look at the scoreboard. It's like, shit, we got to move on to next week because that was terrible.
I actually heard a clip, probably about 2 weeks old now, from Dion. I think it was a Dan Patrick interview.
Yeah, I saw
but it was very recently where they're asking, oh, man, how disappointing is this, 1-6 stretch been? And he's like, yes, it is because I love winning. But he goes, we've been in every game except for that Oregon game. We got off the plane and it was 30-0 Ducks. And he's just laughing. So we had no chance, none.
I just had the clip recirculate on Instagram the other day of the fans walking across the bridge next to Autzen up 42-0 at halftime or whatever. I was like, oh, that's right, that happened, didn't it? Whoops.
Are we not giving Tosh enough credit? Did Lanning kind of jump in after last year?
No. If you go deep into Oregon online stuff, they will say it's not Tosh Lupoy, it's Chris Hampton, who came over from Tulane, and I think he's like the safeties coach / co-defensive coordinator. I honestly
like
can't
a
remember.
Passing game coordinator or something.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, he's clearly calling the defense. And to that, I just say, I remember last year. Oh, Tosh demoted after the Washington game. Dan Lanning clearly calling the defense against Utah. Did you see it? And then he gave it back to Tosh against Oregon State, and we lost. And then when we won against North Carolina, it was Dan Lanning calling the defense. Internet guy, just chill a little bit. Like, I'm terminally online, right? But I have limits. Like Chris Hampton. I don't even know what he looks like, and I bet you don't either. So stop saying he's the guy calling the plays, and just give Tosh his flowers because we don't know. We don't know.
Nope.
And if he's not calling the plays and he's making $1.8 million a year, that's malfeasance by Oregon. So you lose either way. Like, I don't know why Oregon fans are so insistent on being like, oh, it's not Tosh Lupoy. It's Chris Hampton. He's clearly calling it. Whatever.
Let's take a look at who our linebackers were last year, too, who are supposed to be, the leaders of the defense to communicate everything. 2 of them are gone. Maybe a coincidence? I don't know.
By the way, my guy, I know you can't see the chat, but Booba literally said, is it giving Tosh credit or getting Flo the fuck out of here? He leaves and the defense is so much better.
Or
it would be Sewell. Sewell is the leader of the linebackers. And now we talked about him a lot last year with Bassa, how he's just an undersized guy, but he seems to be kind of the glue leader of the linebackers.
Boss is the leader of the defense. He's like their defensive captain.
No, it's probably Jacobs now, but
Doorless.
But
leader of the defense.
No, but the one calling out plays maybe and shifting people, it seems to be Johnson.
And like
was for a majority of the year.
The thing about the defense is they've had one game all year, and I was guilty of it. I was like, oh fucking god damn it, Tosh. Fucking figure it out. They're just throwing it to the 6'9" tight end and running QB power. And that was Texas Tech. No, Texas Tech.
First quarter of Stanford too was the
but they scored 6 points. They scored awful. 6 points.
Yeah.
They're whatever. I didn't care about that. But even the Washington game, they gave up 35 points or whatever it was. Okay. Okay.
35 is good against Washington.
It's literally just the Texas Tech game where anyone could really quibble. But Oregon fan will say it's Chris Hampton and not Tosh Lupoy, which is dumb because if Oregon wins the Pac-12 title and beats Washington, you better tell every fucking Washington fan, Tosh Lupoy, your ex-defensive coordinator, just shoved it up your ass, along with Dan Lanning, who you say is just the skinnier Steve Sarkisian, shoved it up your ass. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, Oregon fan. Tosh Lupoy. That's poison against Washington.
The shirt seems fitting now, right? I love my street agents.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
Now. Tosh was the original.
Attaboy. Do we still have some of those available, by the way?
I got a sack of them, probably about 15 of them somewhere.
What sizes you got?
Ooh, that's a good question. A lot of XLs would be my guess.
Yeah? Okay. If you got anything smaller, let me know, because I need one. So.
Yeah, look at this guy.
I run every day. I'm a medium.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, man, I'm upgrading, boys. That means
I'm running before and after I eat Thanksgiving turkey.
That means the street agent's shirt, too, man. I got to upgrade.
That's street agent shirt's beneath you now at this point, right?
We got any Kenny Rowe shirts laying around?
That was an extremely limited run on those.
Oh, man. Such quality designs. Do you guys in the chat even know what we're talking about? Were you even around a decade ago for the TSB shirt run? Oh, it was so good. Okay, we need to move on. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
Let's do our list real quick. How about that?
List.
How about that? So the list is, I think it came from Booble in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the Discord, I should say. It is in honor of the Civil War, which might be the last time it ever happens. It's not going to be the last time it ever happens. Not happening next year. We at least know that. Or the year after that.
It could happen next year.
Or the year after that. Yeah, but they would have to replace the Boise game?
Yeah.
I'd rather play Boise, frankly. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
why?
I don't know.
Because they stink.
Yeah, exactly. Give me that easy win. We're gonna play that next year when Oregon loses to Boise. Ty Thompson throws 3 interceptions against Boise City. So the list in honor of the Civil War is top 3 wars. So we're doing top 3 wars. Ski, would you like to start?
I'll start off.
Okay.
My number 3 war is storage wars, because apparently Picassos and old Maseratis and shit are just in storage facilities in the Shitheel, Florida, or wherever the fuck that show takes place.
It's a great idea for a show, by the way. That's genius.
All right.
All right, my number 3 is the war on drugs. War on Drugs? Nancy Reagan? Good job, Nancy.
It worked out well.
You did it. You solved it. You solved all of society's problems with the war on drugs. Good job. Also Tipper Gore with the war on curse words and music.
Yes.
How about that? All right, King, you got one?
Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of all the great movies it spawned, right? Yeah, it's fantastic. Threes from the chat. Booble says War the card game. That's good. Huckle Benny says his number 3 is War Games, 1983. Is that a movie, Ski?
It is.
Yeah, you're gonna know everything about that. 80s movie called War Games. Sounds like it's right up your alley. Let's see.
That's all right.
My number 2 is The Pig War. I forget what it was about. I just looked it up right before we started.
I don't know that one.
The Pig War.
Hmm.
I'm gonna Google it while you go, so I can give information about the Pig War.
All right, my number 2 war. I mean, it's the war of all wars, right? And that's the Great Bug War of Starship Troopers.
I'm doing my part. My part.
That's it. Of all the memes that have come out, that's my favorite one.
That making a big comeback.
I ain't doing fucking shit.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the
Fantastic.
Pig War, I'm remembering now. It started because somebody shot a pig. And it was like a border dispute between the British and the U.S. And somebody shot a pig, and it started an entire war. So that's why.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, your number 2, King?
My number 2 war is the song War by Edwin Starr. Because war,
What is it
good for?
My favorite rendition of that is Jackie Chan singing it. What is it good for?
Dangerous game.
Hey,
Dangerous game.
Hey,
Please. Nope.
Jackie Chan in Rush Hour. I mean, we all know it. We've heard it.
Okay.
You want to go into your Chris Tucker now too?
That's more dangerous than War Games. Let's see. Booble's number 2 is Raw is War. There you go.
Raw is war.
Huckle Benny with Warrenton, Oregon. Stupid. 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 All right, what's your one, Ski?
My number 1 is the Great Restaurant War of Los Angeles from Demolition Man, where Taco Bell comes out superior.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
And we don't know what the war was about or how it was fought, but Taco Bell won.
Yeah.
Taco Bell is king.
Yeah. Let's see. My number 1 is the Bird Poop War between Chile, Bolivia, and Peru. Apparently, bird poop was like a big agricultural thing, and so they fought a war over bird poop because they needed to control the bird poop. That's a real thing.
History.
Yeah. Go ahead, King. What's your one?
My number 1 war, because I've researched this so much, is the Civil War presented by Dodge Ram dealership and in conjunction with Dairy Mart. Go Ducks. Or Beavers. I'm Herb Nell at Guarantee RV.
Earlier this evening, went on a walk to Dairy Mart, as I'm sure you've all done. What's your go-to Dairy Mart treat that you get when you walk to Dairy Mart?
I mean, it's biscuits and gravy, is it not? I mean,
it's pretty good. So you're walking there in the morning, getting some biscuits.
No, I fucking walk into a Dairy Mart at all. You get stabbed on a walk to Dairy Mart. That just might happen.
Depends on the Dairy Mart, I guess.
Yes.
How about you, King? What's your go-to Dairy Mart?
You guys live in the South Hills and you're worried about getting stabbed.
I know, right? Yeah, Ski, what are you talking about?
Dana Altman's your neighbor. You're like, it's so dangerous. Well, this is a real war. That should have been your number 1 war, is the South Hills.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the unhoused problem here in South?
Oh boy.
Moving on. Moving on. I mean, how about you? How about you do that for the next 20 minutes?
Skittles.
Yeah.
Skittles are my number one. Sour Skittles are my number one Dairy Mart treat.
There you go. I had my favorite tonight, which is the Mrs. Fields ice cream sandwich with the chocolate chip cookies.
Now you're going to say like, oh, I had a lettuce.
Yeah.
Oh, lettuce. Yeah. I got one of the pre-made salads.
I got one of their potatoes. It's
No
in a
dressing.
brown wicker basket. It's got to be good.
No dressing, guys. No dressing. And I bought a banana. Yeah. they do sell bananas for some reason.
A nice small little carton of skim milk from Umpqua.
Gosh, skim milk guy. They're still out there. Pepperoni sticks from Booble. Yeah.
Pepperoni sticks are good.
All right.
Actually, one good thing COVID brought us is that all those jerky and pepperoni sticks at Dairy Marts or in your plaid pantries, depending on where you are, they're not just dumped into a canister. They're just all in one package. They're all packaged.
Yeah.
Great.
And can we talk about what Biden has done to America? Have you seen the price on like beef sticks and jerky and shit like that? It's like $20 for a fucking bag of jerky now. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, you got to go to grocery outlet, bro. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but
Bargain market.
I usually go to Buy Mart for my jerkies and my pepperoni sticks.
Wow. That's do you get like your sweatpants and stuff?
So I got a card. I'm so special. I go Buy Mart.
Wow, how'd you get a membership, Ski?
It's a one-time fee for life.
For life, exactly.
I'm Mike Barrett.
Yeah, right. All right, let's do lines, huh?
Yep.
Lines everywhere. Lines. I'm glad we avoided Thanksgiving food talk this week because that's kind of whatever. Lines. So 2 lines.
Did any of us remember who actually sings that song Signs? Someone put it in the Discord. Does anyone actually remember who does the song?
6 none the richer.
Don't believe it is that.
Fallout Boy.
Modest Mouse? No? Possibly. All right. Lines.
Modest Mouse has bangers. I will not let anyone say otherwise.
It's the 5-man electrical band.
Oh, how could we forget that?
Yep.
Never again. Never forget.
Never forget.
All right. Well, we're implementing something this week. King and I keep chasing and keep eating shit by chasing.
Yeah,
so
it's not been great.
We are down a lot of points. King's down 7. I'm down 9. So, Braga, you will be picking first for every game, and we can decide if we want to go the other one or not right now.
I love it. Let's do it. Bring it. My Cats, number 1 with a bullet. Let's go.
So the first game is Colorado going to Utah. Utah's 21.5-point favorites.
Colorado.
Shador possibly out. I don't know, but the team's bad.
Wait, Shador's out?
Possibly out.
Colorado points.
Utah.
Give me the Utes. Give me the
Utes and swoop.
All right. Next one. Here you go, Braga. You got your Arizona Wildcats. Mm-hmm. They're on the road. They are. Is that really right? 10 and that can't be right. I got to double check. I wrote down they're 10.5-point favorites. There's no way that's possible, is it?
Oh, it's possible.
On the road, rivalry game. I am going.
They are.
Arizona's my pick either way, so whatever.
They are 10.5 points, yeah.
Arizona, please, and thank you.
I have to take Arizona, too. I cannot take Arizona State.
I mean, I guess if I have any chance, no, it's Arizona. I can't even chase. I can't
even do it.
I can't chase on that one.
All right. Then next one, we got the Apple Cup. Huskies 16.5-point favorites at home for it.
Yeah, Washington.
Give me the Cougs. Give me the Cougs. This is the last Apple Cup, even though it's not going to be the last Apple Cup. But the Cougs are going to show up.
Washington.
Yeah. Stupid. Another exciting one. We got Notre Dame is 25.5-point favorites at Stanford.
Stanford.
25.5.
25.5.
Notre Dame sucks too.
They're not great.
Stanford with the points.
God damn it, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I guess I'm taking Notre Dame as well, but I probably would have taken Stanford.
You're probably gonna win. You're probably gonna win this one. I bet they win by like 28.
The game's gonna be gross. That's all I know.
It's the final game on Pac-12 Network, just so everyone knows.
Is it? R.I.P.
Yep.
Notre Dame?
Yep, Notre Dame and Stanford is the last game
Stop
on
it.
Pac-12 Network. Yep.
All right.
Amazing, right?
We got Cal. They're at Kings Bruins. Kings Bruins 9.5-point favorites.
Cal.
I have not picked an LA school right since the middle of September. None of them. So I'm like 0-19. UCLA.
I'm UCLA as well.
Oh, by the way, Arizona's my star pick.
Bruins are my star pick.
Who is? Bruins?
Yeah.
Bruins? All right.
Ethan
All right,
Gardner's baby.
We got our throw-in games here. Yeah, we're going to go the big Buckeyes going to Michigan. Michigan 3.5-point favorites.
Wow. Wow.
This is a real hard
Our
delete that.
I'm gonna go Ohio State.
fuck.
Wolverines.
I got Chase. I think Michigan is bad. I don't think they're good. But I'll take Michigan, I guess.
Ohio State's quarterback's not very good.
Oh, McCord kind of stinks.
Yeah,
JJ McCarthy kind of stinks too.
he stinks. I don't think Quorum's that great either.
He's got 810 yards rushing this year.
He's got a
Doak
billion,
Walker, look out.
billion touchdowns.
Yep.
Look, I think this game is going to be similar to when both teams played Penn State. If I was a betting man, I'd be betting the under on this game. It's going to be a low-scoring, terrible game. And on that note, the greatest game in the history of the Big Ten, Iowa is going to Nebraska. This is a double one. We're taking the total too. Total's 26.5 and falling.
Antonio Banderas, Jeff.
I think it might get to 25 at the total in the end.
Iowa in the under. I love watching Iowa. I'll admit it.
We're going to be seeing them in the Big Ten championship game.
Yes.
What's the line?
Nebraska's 2.5-point favorite.
Okay. So 2.5-point favorite. The over under is 26.5.
Yes.
I can't in good conscience pick Iowa. I'm going to pick Nebraska and the under.
Points.
I am taking Iowa.
That's where I win.
And I'm taking the over. It's going to hit one of these times. It has to. It has to. It's so low. It's 26.5 points. You can't combine for 4 touchdowns. Get out of here, Big Ten. You're so bad. Big Ten is bad. I'm actually almost not looking forward to joining the Big Ten. How bad these teams are.
Yeah, we're gonna get over the nostalgia of everything like really quick. I think.
Yes.
It's gonna take like half a season.
And the last game, Ducks 13.5-point favorites against the Beavs. I don't even need it. I am star picking Oregon. I think they trounce the Beavs. DJU does not scare me at all.
Oregon as well. I will also take
the
that.
Ducks. DJU floats balls. He's late on balls. It's just and Oregon and like Damian Martinez is really good. Their offensive line generally pretty good, but they might be out 2 starters, and they're definitely out their first backup on the offensive line. And DJU, they don't. Oh, here, can I give you a fucking amazing stat about DJU versus Washington last week?
Love one, yeah.
He was 6 for 20 on passes that went 5 yards plus in the air.
Yeah.
6
sounds about right.
for 20 on passes that went more than 5 yards in the air. Yes, the weather was terrible. And it'll be much better because it'll be dry on Friday. But no. DJU, not that guy. Not that guy.
Not that guy.
Not that guy, pal.
Not that guy,
Not
pal.
that guy, pal.
Not that guy, pal.
And my other thing too is I think the back end of their defense is not very good. Their defense is not as good as everyone thought coming into this year, but especially the back end, those corners and the safeties. Odunze, through all that weather, had 8 for 120 yards. Also, Franklin's going to do just the same.
Before we move on to trivia, WCP just joined the chat. Says I made it. What I miss. First of all, you missed them talking about how great I look.
Beautiful man.
We have top 3 wars. If you want to drop your top 3 wars before we're done, I will read them. So
Modern warfare.
Modern warfare. We did not say that.
Hey,
Call of Duty.
I thought you were going to go war. I thought you were going to go War and Peace King when you had the song War. Yeah.
That's very smart and would fit in perfectly with this podcast.
Yes. Who hasn't read it?
I'm surprised as well. All right, so let's do some trivia. By the way, we totally didn't talk about Brock Purdy and how he's perfect. Maybe he'll be perfect again on Thanksgiving night. By the way, the 49ers and Seahawks play Thanksgiving night, which
gross.
That's awesome.
Speaking of gross, watch a Chiefs game. Gross.
Oy, catch a ball for fuck's sake.
Somebody. Anybody.
I was
do your job.
I was yelling at the TV for you, man. Jesus, that was brutal.
They are such a gross watch.
God, catch a football for fuck's sake. You're a millionaire because you catch footballs. Fucking bring one in.
MVS has one job, and it's to run straight down a field. And once a game, they'll throw it to him, and he's got to catch it. Gotta catch it.
Good God.
I hate him.
Has he jumped Kadarius Toney?
No.
As a receiver, because Tony at least they're giving the ball like handoffs and end arounds and stuff. But yeah,
they're not very exciting. No, they're like 2-yard runs.
They are not.
The Chiefs' offense is gross.
Maybe guys will actually be smart and actually draft some receivers that
they do. They just don't
have
Ty Moore that are not Ty Moore. It's Ty Moore's.
Rasheed Rice.
He's okay.
He's okay.
He's okay. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. You got to cut him a little slack.
No slack.
Yeah, absolutely not. No way.
And the other, how about Travis Kelce be good? Just be good.
That was a rough
He's
night.
bad right. He's bad right.
You know what?
You know
why? You know what? We all know why he struggled. His girl wasn't there, man.
And now I've got bad blood.
His girl's out there touring,
now I've got problems. And if he can catch a ball, maybe that'll solve him.
If you can catch a wrench, you can catch a ball. Okay, let's do trivia. Oregon State trivia. Ski, you won last week, so you get to go first.
Miracle win.
So if you have not heard this before, I'm going to give Ski a question. If he gets it right, he gets a point. If he doesn't get it right, then I give King a chance to steal the point with a multiple choice. It is best out of 10. There are only 10 questions. Ski, your first question. Which Oregon State player became the first ever freshman to win Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year?
Oh, man. Look at that.
I know this one. Call it me.
Jonathan Smith.
Ooh! The answer is not Jonathan Smith. Your options, King, Terry Baker.
Rogers.
Quiz Rogers is the correct answer. Yes.
2008.
Yep.
I
So,
think.
yep. Quiz Rogers, freshman, first to win Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year. Back to you, King. Dennis Erickson led the Beavs to their first bowl game in 35 years in 1999 and led them to 3 in 4 years before leaving to coach what NFL team in 2003?
The San Francisco 49ers.
That is correct. King up 2-0. That was not a good run for the 49ers. That point in time.
No.
That made the Chip Kelly year look nice.
Yeah.
Was it as bad as the Saban year in there, or
Saban? Saban was with the Dolphins.
was it Dolphins?
Yeah.
That's right. It was the Dolphins. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Then it was Mike Nolan for a while.
Mhm.
Who wore the tie?
I can't remember the name of the dude, like the offensive line coach.
Jim Tom Sula.
That was it. Thank you.
Good Tom Sula. Oh, come out from the swamp.
My guy had an open shirt with chest hair and a gold chain every game.
He looked like Carl from Aqua
He
Teen
did.
Hunger Force.
He did.
Is he back on the coaching staff for the Niners?
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay, I heard his name in the last week, and I thought they said he was on the Niners still.
No.
Like it's like a line coach or something.
I mean, somebody could Google it. You want to look that up for us, Ski? See what?
Yeah. The picture, the first picture that popped up is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on, Fry. What are we gonna call?
No.
Shake.
Hey,
They still have him as the Rain Fire head coach.
Hey, I'm coaching the fire. Hey,
Coach,
by the way, Booble mentioning Singletary as their coach as well. Jeez.
Yeah,
God, when they hired Lynch and Shanahan, that was nice. I'll just say that.
look at this fucking guy. How good is that? It's so good. he is the guy from Aqua Teen.
Man,
He just had a beater on.
Yeah, they were absolutely hoping he'd be Dan Campbell, and he was not Dan Campbell.
He was not Dan
Nope.
Campbell.
All right, this goes to Ski now, right? I think. Yeah. Let's see. On the bowl game note, Oregon State played their first in the 1939 season. 1940 is when it was played. It was in Hawaii against Hawaii, and they won 39-6. What was the game called? 1940 in Hawaii against Hawaii.
I think I gave this as a wrong answer last week.
I'm gonna say the Aloha Bowl.
That is incorrect. Your options, King. The Aloha Bowl.
Was it the Poi Bowl?
that was one of the answers like a few weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
So your options are the Aloha Bowl, the Hawaii Bowl, or the Pineapple Bowl.
Oh, give me that Pineapple Bowl.
It was called the Pineapple Bowl. Man, that bowl game has changed names so many fucking times over the years. It's crazy. And I think we've said all of them on this podcast.
Like that.
Let's see. So back to you, King. Let's see. Who holds the Oregon State single season records for catches and receiving yards? Single season records.
Ooh. I'm going to say Mike Haas, but it could be Sammy Strother.
Incorrect. Your options, Ski, Mike Haas, James Newson, or Brandon Cooks.
I gotta say Cooks.
Cooks is the correct answer. In 2013, Brandon Cooks had 128 catches and 1,730 yards. that is an awful lot.
Mike Haas won the Bolitnikoff Award like 2 years before. So
yeah, no, Haas was a good guess for sure.
That's crazy. That's funny.
Yep. So back to Ski here. Who holds Oregon State's records for career passing yards and touchdowns? 13,600 yards and 83 touchdowns.
John Mannion?
Sean Mannion is the correct answer, yes. So it is King leading 3-2 now. King, who is Oregon State's only number one draft pick ever?
Terry Baker.
Terry Baker is the correct answer. King leading 4-2. Let's see. Ski. Who is Oregon State's all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns? Might as well just
King's favorite, Kenny Simonson.
Kenny Simonson is correct. I was like, might as well just get the stats ones out of the way. So King leads 4-3 now. Chance to win here. I'm going to the alumni, and there are no movies because it's Oregon State. First of all, I mean, what actors are going to go to Oregon State? All right, Oregon State. Exactly. Oregon State has had a. I was going to make a joke. I'm not going to make it. Oregon State has had a few founders of companies over the years. Leonard Schoen invented this company that has the tagline, "Your moving and storage resources." They rent trucks and sell moving supplies. What is the company?
U-Haul.
That is the correct answer. Did I give
name another?
The U-Haul guy went to OSU. They don't donate to OSU.
It's based in Arizona. The company is, but he went to OSU.
It's a corporate shell game. Stop running from your taxes, Mr. U-Haul, you fraud. Exactly. Embrace the state.
All right, so King wins. That was it. I'll give the other questions here. Who holds the OSU record for career sacks? 37.
The Lawrence Grant.
Bill Swancutt.
Oh, scrappy white guy.
Yeah.
Coach's kid. Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Real grinder.
Here's the history one. Governor Mark Hatfield signed legislation in 1961 to make OSU a university, to make them OSU. They had to change their name to Oregon State University. What was the school called before that?
Oregon Agricultural College, OAC.
It was named Oregon State College.
Went from OAC to OSC. Okay.
Yep.
What's the difference between a college and a university?
I think state funding. I think.
So like Boston College, good school, doesn't get the state funding.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because Boston University, I feel like, is the snobbier school.
Oh yeah, BU definitely is.
They play in the bean pot. Frozen Four.
Oh yeah.
College hockey, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Not either.
Somebody in the chat, tell us real quick. Google it. Quickly.
I always feel like colleges are the more like affluent, snobby ones. But like Notre Dame is a university, so I don't know. That theory is probably wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say like USC is a university. Like they're private. Like I don't know. I don't know how it works. Stanford. Let's see. So I'll go because I said I would. WCP's list is. Let's see. His number 3 is War Games. Number 2 is Warhammer 40,000, and his number 1 is Star Wars. Specifically, Star Wars 2: Wrath of Khan. He didn't really say that. That was a joke we made about an hour and a half ago before we started the podcast. Let's see. WCP says college is usually a 2-year thing. University is 4+.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
I think it's like a community college, but like there are other colleges, like Boston College, for instance.
Yeah, that's it.
Are they Boston College University?
I don't think so.
Oh. If only there were a way to find out the answer to these questions.
No way I'm looking that up.
I don't care enough. I'm ending the podcast because I'm angry now. Movie on Sunday, which I forgot to mention. Speaking of an hour and a half ago, I forgot to mention that. The movie on Sunday is the final movie of our bird month, and it is Chicken Run. It is on Netflix.
Do that, boy.
It's short. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. So it's an easy watch. Watch it. Listen to us talk about it on Sunday. And everybody have a nice holiday. How about that?
Hey, and eat your turkey, and eat your green bean casserole, and eat your mashed potatoes, and eat your stuffing, and don't fucking complain about it like a fucking holiday hipster that gets on Instagram just complain about it. No one wants to hear it. Just fucking eat it.
Eat it. Sit on your couch for a while, and then eat some fucking pumpkin pie.
I gotta eat food and watch football and sit on the couch. Oh, I hate holidays. Oh, Thanksgiving's the worst. Oh, give me the next day off too. I hate holidays. Get out of here, holiday hipsters. Get out of here.
You guys got your Christmas stuff?
I drink your whole milk.
You guys got Christmas stuff up yet?
No.
I'm seeing that happening earlier and earlier. Like this year especially, I've seen a bunch of stuff.
I saw it right after Halloween. I saw some people throw shit up.
I have a couple houses near me that had it up, have had full scenes up for about 2 weeks. It's just too early.
Those people are psychopaths.
You know, I'll say part of me was feeling the vibe. Part of me was like, you know, if they were selling trees, I might go buy a tree and just get it up. You know,
that thing would be so dead before Christmas.
Well, maybe if you water your tree, Ski, and take care of it. I mean, this is Oregon, is it not? Do you hate trees?
Well, you probably get one like comes in a pot that you could replant somewhere now to say, Mr. This guy works for you look like you work for Osberg now.
Popped ass, crisp collar.
No, Osberg is not a thing I've heard in a long time.
Sustainable Christmas tree. I do it every year that I walk 15 miles into the woods and plant them.
Yeah.
I think you'll find that
generations to come.
Yeah. Visual gags, perfect for podcasts.
Yes.
All right, so everybody have a nice holiday, whatever. We'll see you on Sunday for the movie podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Go fuck yourselves.
Bye!